Welcome in, everybody, live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Getting ready to go racing here tonight to kick off what we have been waiting for a long time. The CK Parking Lot Maintenance O'Reilly Auto Parts Series is now upon us. We'll get that up out of the way of your screen. We are getting ready to go racing. 60 laps is what we're scheduled for here tonight with the opening two dual races. Getting ready to see the green flag here in just a second. You have found some of the best iRacing platform racing known to man. Ladies and gentlemen, the drivers have locked themselves in with their qualifying times to see which dual race they will be a part of. 29 Xfinity or now O'Reilly Auto Parts cars fill in the field here tonight. You're getting ready to watch Talladega for the Madness Racing League. Live here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, we want to give a huge shout out to our series sponsor this upcoming season, giving us all of our full responsibilities, is the CK Parking Lot Maintenance Company. We gladly appreciate them jumping on board this season in Season 4 and giving a $100 prize to the champion. Well, to the purse money. We'll have more information about that here in just a moment. Make sure you check out www.ckparkinglotmaintenance.com. As drivers continue to load into the field here, this is only going to be heat race number 1, as we like to call them in NASCAR, dual races. This is going to be your starting row here. The 12 drivers on your screen will be Everett Larson, Colin Cole, Dylan Jones, Trenton Johns, Tony Cook, Alan Hammerbeck, Cameron Gillidan, Corey Tetzner, Mitchell Wilson, Sean Williams, Michael Durham Jr., Brandon McAbee. I believe we have a few more guys out here in heat race number 2. Can we pull the screen down? There we go as well. Kevin Tanko's in the field, as well as Andrew Parnell, James Fallon, and Virgil Perelman Sr. will be the guys rounding out the tail end of the field in dual race number 1. Since we got some drivers on the field, I say we go ahead and get you down here, let you meet your favorite driver, folks. Starting on the pole here in dual race number 1, setting the fastest lap time here tonight from Bristol, Tennessee. That's the Stacking Pennies Podcast Camaro of Everett Larson. On the outside of him will be the CK Parking Lot Maintenance number 77 series sponsor car, the owner of CK Parking Lot Maintenance, Colin Cole. Starting in the 4th place position here tonight from Williamsburg, Kentucky, driving the number 51 C4 Energy Chevy Camaro, Trenton John. On the inside of him in dual race number 1 from Franklin County, Virginia, driving the number 11 Aaron's Chevy Camaro, Dylan Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, starting in the number 38 Bass Pro Shops, Chase Johnson Racing Chevy Camaro from Duncan, South Carolina. That's the Hammer, Alan Hammerbeck. On the inside of him will be Season 1 Dual Race 1 winner from about a year and a half ago, the Home Run Cafe number 33 of Tony Cook. On the inside of him, behind him, will be the Domino Productions number 7 Camaro from South Haven, Kansas of Camden Gillidan. On the outside of him will be the Black Rifle Coffee Company Bass Pro Shop Chase Johnson Racing Greer, South Carolina driver of Corey Riptide Tetzner. On the inside of him will be the number 46 Wilson Racer number 46 Toyota from Midwest E Motorsports of Mitchell Wilson. On the outside will be the number 25 Dude Wipes Camaro from East Windsor, Sean Williams. And on the inside of him, driving the number 55 from Burnside, Kentucky, the Built Up Marines Toyota Supra of Michael Durham Jr. On the outside of him will be that Chase Johnson Racing entry number 10 Grimmy HendrickCars.com from Spartanburg, South Carolina, Camaro of Brandon McAbee. Behind him will be the Budweiser number 4 Season 2 champion here inside of the Xfinity Series driver, the Budweiser Camaro for Rush Motorsports from Hawthorne, New Jersey, Kevin Tankos. And driving that 5th final entry, well, 4th final one here in heat race number 1 for Chase Johnson Racing Cars, and heat race number 1 for the Duels is the Red Bull number Chase Johnson Racing 3 machine of Andrew Parnell. And starting shotgun tail end of the field, back in action here in Season 4, the Marble Man, driving number 42 from Jabez, Kentucky, Virgil Perriman. James Fountain from Greenville, South Carolina, also known as Fames Jousting on Twitch. Make sure you go give him a follow. We'll start in the 16th place spot here in dual race number 1. He'll be starting from the pits. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you came to watch. Dual race number 1 getting ready to kick off Season 4 of the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's Madness Racing League O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Will bring up tonight's track facts, getting ready to tackle on the 60-lap race. But we'll have 2 dual races first. That will be for 8 laps here tonight for the CK parking lots. 120, 55-mile-an-hour pit lane speed with about a 25 to 32-lap window. Instead of go racing fuel, they'll head back and forth down on the 0 and 16th-degree banking on the front and back straightaway. And the corners being 33-degree bankings here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Get you down back on the main broadcast cam. Green flags flying around this time in dual race number 1. Flip the grid for you one more time. Everett Larson, Colin Cole, Dylan Jones, Trent Johns. Then Tony Cook will be the top 5 drivers. 29 cars round out the Madness Racing League's O'Reilly Auto Parts Series live here tonight for the CK parking lots. 120. 15 of them in dual race number 1. Looks like we'll have about 14 in dual race number 2. Make sure you slap that like button. Press that follow button. You're not going to want to miss a damn thing. Peter the Base Car will hang the left on the pit lane. The drivers will drive the extra 1,000 feet here at the Talladega Super Speedway. That is oh so definitely to come into effect here tonight. Pace car cuts the left down on the pit lane. Green flag is in the air. Everett Larson, Colin Cole on the front row to kick off Season 4 of the CK Parking Lot Maintenance O'Reilly Auto Parts Series for the Madness Racing League. What do you say, folks? Let's go racing here tonight at Talladega. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Green flag is in the air. Climb of the banking, the 33-degree banking, that is off of turn 2. Everett Larson will be door-to-door with what's going to be Colin Cole and the number 77 Camaro. 2 Camaros battle it out down the back straightaway. Ladies and gentlemen, there is absolutely no 3 wide into the completion of the first lap here tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway. Ripping through the gears, trying to get the oil through the shafts and the motors. These guys aren't going to spare each other an inch here tonight. It's going to be a 12-lap P race, excuse me, not the 8 one that I talked about earlier. That'll route us out to right there at about the 25-lap mark. The 25-mile mark. Tony Cook will jump from the bottom to the top side of the racetrack. These guys will now be permitted to go 3 wide. 3 wide is in effect here at Talladega, and Tony Cook's going to look to make trouble with it quick and early. He'll move up the middle side of the racetrack here in dual race number 1. They'll climb the 33-degree banking off turn 2. Tony Cook will get a little bit of help off turn 2 here. That'll be the number 4 of Kevin Tankos drafting right behind them. They'll pull nose to tail down the back straightaway. 3 wide all the way back with 16, 18 cars here in dual race number 1. These guys still have 11 laps to go. Nobody going to spare an inch. Alan Hammer back out front in Talladega. Grimmy gets shoved up the racetrack there. Brandon McAbee in that number 10 Camaro for Chase Johnson Racing. He's already went to the back of the pack already, down 3 spots from where he started. Only coming to complete lap number 2 here in the opening race for Season 4. This is dual race number 1. We still have a whole entire dual race after this. Tony Cook splicing his way up through the field here at Talladega. The Home Run Cafe looking to knock it out the ballpark tonight. Tony Cook hasn't been the victory lane ever here in the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's Madness Racing League. He did pick up the Season 1 dual race 1 win. Tony Cook, the first time we ever cut laps here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, won the dual race at the Daytona International Raceway. Can he double down here tonight at Talladega and start Season 4 off with a quick move? Tony Cook slicing his way to the bottom of the racetrack. Coming across the turn 4 trial here, an extra 1,000 feet at the Talladega Motor Speedway until you get to the start-finish line. Unlike any other normal racetrack, this gives these drivers the opportunity to try to grab the draft and get going. Tony Cook will change lanes and move to the top side of the racetrack. He's getting a helping push from the number 01 of MRL Larson, who'll climb the banking here in turns 1 and 2. MRL Larson, 15 years old from Bristol, Tennessee. 4-time winner here in the Madness Racing League O'Reilly Auto Parts Center. Tony Cook's never won before, and neither has the inside line guy of Alan Hammerbeck. They'll climb door to door down the back straightaway, drag race into turn 3. Tony Cook just trying to get this outside line clear and get prevailing on the outside. Down goes Sean Williams on the backside, and that dude White's number 25. He's got to get this Camaro up and moving, battling off turn 4. Whoa, trouble across the front straightaway. We got one cut in the grass across the infield. Holy cow, that's the 46 Toyota Supra from Midwest E Motorsports of Mitchell Wilson. What a save from the number 46 from Elkhart, Indiana. That's going to be killer there for the number 46 here in dual race number 1, trying to set up your spot for the main event here tonight. If you win the the dual race here tonight, you will start in position number 1 up front. If you win heat race number 2 or dual race number 2, however you like to exceed to call it, you will start on the front row as well on the outside. Larson getting a shot from the number 4 of Kevin Tankos, climbing the banking through turn 3 and 4. Ladies and gentlemen, 29 cars back out the Talladega Super Speedway here tonight. The transport haulers have been here all morning. The fans have been out in the fan zone signing autographs. Tony Cook had one of the longer lines here in the fan zone. He's driving this 33 blue and white home run cafe machine to the front of the field, trying to lead some laps here. Score the win tonight in the dual race number 1, where the winner will grab 3 points. Second place will receive 2, and third will receive 1. Nobody else will get the points after. You got to crop the banking and try to keep it up and moving. Dylan Jones will jump from the bottom to the top side of the racetrack there in that Aaron's number 11 blue and black machine down the back straightaway. The outside line's got way more cars than the bottom side, about 7 to a 4 ratio. But these 5 cars, on the bottom side, getting up and moving here, pushing it hard down the back straightaway. Andrew Parnell has lost touch to the back half of the draft, as well as Mitchell Wilson. He's all the way in the back of the pack after almost losing that race car and spinning out off of turn 4 across the front straightaway. Climbing the banking here with 7 laps to go on the Video Scoot Racing Channel CK parking lot maintenance number race 120. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys have been put into a entry fee. $5 gets you out on the racetrack for the whole season. Ladies and gentlemen, the purse exceeded, over $320. That will be spread out between the top 10 drivers that finish in points at the end of the year. Corey Tester battling up front for the race lead. Corey Riptide Tester rips the outside, safer barrier contact down the back straightaway. Kevin Tankos gets spun around. Virgil Perriman gets collected. The big one here in dual race number 1. Caution flag is out here in dual race number 1. Trouble down the back straightaway. Virgil Perriman involved. Kevin Tankos involved as well. Don't forget about Virgil Perriman getting turned around right there. It maybe look like we'll have to back that ass up for the instant replay. Let's back that ass up for the instant replay. Take a look here, riding above the front half of the pack, trying to make sense of it down the back straightaway. Looks like Virgil Perriman gets it to the back end of the number 11 machine, ships him around. Tony Cook takes a hellacious shot on the inside, safe for a barrier. We'll see if we can't ride out the front windshield of Tony Cook in this number 33 home run cafe machine. This is going to be a nasty shot, folks. Tony Cook absolutely smacks the inside safer retaining barrier hard as ever. You know what? If they're talking about hitting home runs, Tony Cook's car just smacked it out of the ballpark right there, and it may not be able to return here tonight. We're looking at the tail end of Brandon Grimmy, or the nose, of Grimmy. Brandon McAbee, trouble in front of him, just nowhere to go, trying to part the seas, and bang! The number 51's right there in his front windshield. Nowhere for Brandon McAbee to go. He'll spin it around on the front straightaway. Trouble there. Started with the number 11 of Dylan Jones getting his back end ran into, by the number 42 of Virgil Perriman. Virgil Perriman, the Marble Man, back in season 4. He's got big time damage here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. On the car behind him, the number 51. Will see some damage as well. Looks like Peter the Pace car has already worked his way out onto the off the pit lane and onto the racetrack. That indicates to us the caution flag is out. We'll be back here in just a moment. We'll keep it side by side. You won't miss a thing.
We will be back in a moment.
Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, giving us a quick shout out to our partners on the right side of your screen, and a huge shout out to CK Parking Lot Maintenance in Lincoln, Nebraska for giving us an opportunity to show the wealth here in their awesome business that they do. Paving, your seal coat, your parking lot maintenance needs, you name it. CK Parking Lot Maintenance has your back covered here for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. 402-610-0691. To call them today, get all of your line striping, seal coating, repairs, and crack joint sealing needs. With Tony Cook making the run to the front right there, I think it's only right we have to give the shout out to the Home Run Cafe there in Greer, South Carolina. Owner of Tony Cook driving that number 33 to the front half of the pack, takes a hellacious shot to the inside safer barrier. He has climbed aboard that race car. He'll take the trip to the infield care center. Tony Cook has declined comments here after wrecking out in dual race number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, we still have one more entire dual race remaining after this, and on top of a 60-lap race here tonight at Talladega, indicating to you that you're going to be strapped, locked, and loaded here for at least the next hour or so, watching some of the best awesome highlights and racing on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live here at Talladega Super Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, as these guys continue to pace underneath the caution flag, we should get the one to go racing this time around. We'll bring up the remaining schedule. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a packed schedule this season for Season 4. These guys have absolutely thrown together a beautiful schedule. Auto Club 2 weeks from now is absolutely going to be putting on a show for these folks. They'll head on over to the Kentucky Motor Speedway, but it won't be the traditional Kentucky Motor Speedway. It'll be the 2011 throwback style. That racetrack is absolutely lacking the grip that these drivers will need. They'll have to keep it together here when we head on over to Kentucky here in a few weeks. Then we'll have our one and only annual road course race that we do every single year here in the Madness Racing League. Going to be one road course race per series. They always do it depending on the racetrack. We went to Lime Rock in the trucks this past season. Looks like we're going to be shaking out Sonoma on the NASCAR short style track, as well as Richmond, Texas, Iowa, Homestead. I can't wait to get over to that 2011 Michigan in these these O'Reilly cars, They put on a hell of a show when we went there in the truck series. Go to the Charlotte Motor Speedway, Dover, and Chicagoland to round it up to the Madness Racing League. Absolutely cooking up something here on the long back half of the season. We're underneath the caution flag here for the first time tonight in dual race number 1. We still got a whole another dual race after this. We got a 60-lap main event scheduled after the fact. Everybody's still down on the pit lane attending to their race cars so we can get a better angle of pit lane. Trenton Johns down there on pit lane. Dylan Jones has the client comment from our pit lane reporter. He has climbed out from that machine from Franklin County, Virginia. Have to go grab the backup car for the main event here as he's still scheduled to be back out on the track. After everything's all said and done with, Andrew Partnell, the Chase Johnson Racing Chevy Camaro, will have the hard-charging award here in the dual race. No points will be awarded for that award. Those extra bonus points are only awarded in the feature race. Those will be the hard charger, runner-up position, fastest lap, and there is another one. I just can't remember it off the top of my head. These drivers are racing under critical conditions, and what we mean by that here is the Madness Racing League tries to offer some of the most fair racing on the platform. Just like you would race in an official race, these drivers are racing on a 17 incident X policy limit, meaning that these drivers at any point at tonight's race over-exceed the 17 X incident point threshold that they have been given, they will receive a black flag and be called down on the pit lane to do a drive-through penalty. They'll have 3 laps to serve that penalty. If neither one of the drivers that are currently underneath that penalty, which we do not expect them to be there and have that many incidents here tonight. We got a relatively good group, a lot of returning faces here for Season 4, and God, man, it makes me feel so great to see some new names over there on the left side of the ticker on your leaderboard. Really indicates and shows to us that the league is growing and is making an impact here. Also, want to give a huge shout out to the Booty Scoot Racing channel TikTok members. You guys have been showing out recently here on the TikTok channel. Been averaging over 50 viewers per race as we go live. We got a late start here tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway. We apologize for that. I'm so sorry. We had some technical difficulties here, but thank goodness for the Madness Racing League for letting it out to us. And I really wouldn't believe we couldn't do this if we didn't run this on a Saturday night. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you clap that calendar for the rest of the month. This is going to be some action-packed racing coming your way. Green flag's going to fly. It'll be Everett Larson, the 14-year-old, on the pole there on the inside orange machine from Bristol, Tennessee. He's set on the pole. He's led every lap here to this point beside what Tony Cook got up there and took over the race lead. Corey Riptide Tetzner will be on the outside. We'll have his Chase Johnson Racing teammate of Alan Hammerbeck back there in that white and orange Bass Pro Shop number 38. So can these two drivers get hooked up here, maybe get each other pushed up to the front? We don't want to forget about Colin Cole, the series sponsor, number 77 car out on track. He's looking to grab his first dual race win here on the Madness Racing League. So is Andrew Parnell, and it's Chase Johnson racing number 3. So of the cars running on track, there is 9 Chevrolets and 1 Toyota Supra. That is the number 46 orange Supra of Mitchell Wilson. Pace car should hang that lift down on the pit lane this time around. The lights are off on top of it. If you gave Peter the opportunity to cut the laps every single week, you best believe he'd do it. He'd be the point series standing leader. As bad as that thing goes, ladies and gentlemen, green flag back in the air here for dual race number 1. Everett Larson will bring them through the Geico restart zone with Corey Tessner on the outside. All these drivers know what's going to be lying ahead. A green-white checkered finish here in dual race number 1. Ripping back through the gears, Colin Cole trying to get some momentum to the back bumper of Corey Riptide Tessner. They'll climb the 33-degree banking here in turn 1. You're riding out the CK Parking Lot Maintenance hood cam, presented to you by CK Parking Lot Maintenance. Off of turn 2, Colin Cole's going to look to try to get a push from the back of the number, from the front bumper of the number 3 of Andrew Parnell, flying down the back straightaway. Tessner sailed nose to tail there with Everett Larson. Nobody making ground on the outside line. Meanwhile, though, Corey Tessner will switch lanes into turn 3. He'll jump up to the top side of the racetrack in front of the number 77 of Colin Cole. We're back in action now, folks. No 3 wide into the completion of this first lap. Hopefully these guys can keep it clean for about 2,000 more feet, and you'll have yourself a white flag, and it'll be official here for dual race number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, Corey Tessner, drag racing Everett Larson, door-to-door for dual race number 1. White flag is in the air, presented by AFLglobal.com. 2.5 miles away, separate the dual race checker flag here for Corey Riptide Tessner. He's on the outside trying to blow the block. He'll have to bait defense here down the back straightaway. Can Alan Hammerbeck get to the back bumper here of Everett Larson? But I do not expect a huge push from the 38, knowing that Corey Tessner is his teammate. Tessner will slice down the back straightaway. He'll keep it in the middle there. Colin Cole trying to size him up down the back straightaway. The 77 may get one opportunity here at the back bumper of the number 8 of Corey Tessner. 1,000 feet added on here to Talladega Super Speedway to the start-finish line. Tessner gets the run of momentum off of turn 4. Drag race off of turn 4 and across the front straightaway. Tessner has the race lead. Colin Cole dives down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Goes to tail, side by side. Drag race across the front straightaway. Give it to Colin Cole. Colin Cole wins dual race number 1 there. Whoa, trouble! Trouble up to the checkered flag. Andrew Parnell hard into the outside, safer barrier. Colin Cole wins heat race, or dual race number 1, with the series sponsor on board here for season 4 of the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. What a race, what a finish, folks. 62 people live here in the TikTok watching the dual races take place here for the Madness Racing League with a late start. We know it. We apologize. If you will just bear with us and stay with us, we promise that these guys can maybe get you some green flag racing here in the next feature. Here is heat race number 2 and how they'll shake out. Bobby Kyle, Logan Perriman, Michael Ponder Jr., Chase Johnson will be the front 2 rows, followed by Ty Robertson, Trent Hughes, Carter Jackson, and Nick Crawford will round out the 3rd and 4th row, followed by Connor Dotery and John Michael Bryant. Terry Hughes Jr. and Klaus Braum also as well in the field. Better Than Me show you. Let's get you down on the racetrack so you can meet some of your favorite drivers and how they shake out here driving. On the pole, the number 777, and see if I can't get the paint schemes to refresh for you here. From Huntersville, Georgia, that's the Toyota Supra of Bobby Kyle. On the outside of him, please be patient and let the paint schemes load back in. From Japettes, Kentucky, driving the number 19 Toyota Chevy Camaro, Logan Perriman. Starting in the 3rd place position, 4th place here tonight after we get the grid up and moving from Greer, South Carolina. Yet to win this Xfinity Series Championship, he'll look to do it this season. That's the number 5 of Showtime, Chase Johnson. Driving the number 13 Ford Mustang with Valvoline on board from Ranger, Georgia, will be the number 13 of Michael Ponder Jr. I'm going to speed it up here a little bit as the admin's telling me we're trying to get it to go racing very quickly here. So Ty Robertson will shake out P5 here in the dual race number 2. On the outside of him will be the number 18 from Troy, Alabama of Trent Hughes. Driving the number 2 Miller Lite Chevy Camaro from Whatever the heck that's supposed to mean, that's the Miller Lite number 2 of Carter Jackson. Driving the Quesos, number 48 for Rock and Roll Racing from Kentucky. That's the large car, Nick Crawford. On the inside of him is the Ford Performance Racing School, number 17 from Pell City, Alabama, of Connor Dotery. Driving the number 81 Ford Pass Pro Motorcraft Ford Mustang from Troy, Alabama. That's the older brother, Terry Hughes Jr. Driving the number 23 Gorilla Mine Toyota Supra from Greer, South Carolina. That's the boogeyman, your mom's favorite driver, John Michael Bryant. And driving the number 47 CK Parking Lot Maintenance Design Chevy Camaro from Greenville, South Carolina, the Rain Man, Poncho McDowell. On the outside of him will be the number 41 Racers for Christ Chevy Camaro from Brazil. And then moved here to Simpsonville, South Carolina. I believe that's what that says. Klaus Brahm. On the outside of him will be the number 77 Ride That Intake Camaro from Greenville, South Carolina. Excuse me, I'm not exactly tired why that is messed up the way that it's supposed to be. The number 77 of Jackson Byron. So Bobby Kyle will lead them across the turn 4 exit, and back across the front straightaway. The pace car, yes, does hang the left down on the pit lane, so we barely got through that one. Woo, folks. Bobby Kyle, Logan Perriman on the front row here at Talladega. Michael Ponder Jr., Chase Johnson in the second row. Dual race number 2, getting ready to get the green flag for 12 laps. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing in dual race number 2. Climbing the banking here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Quickly, people jump from the top to the bottom lane here. Down the back straightaway. And we don't want to forget to tell you folks that the 3 wide is unavailable into the completion of the first lap. You may jump lanes, but you cannot go 3 wide with any of your opponents. You may be black flagged here by the admin. The 777 of Bobby Kyle still looking for a sponsor here inside of this 777 Toyota Supra. Bobby Kyle down on the bottom side of the racetrack from Huntersville, Georgia. The OG old-timer trying to lead some laps here in dual race number 2 and grab a victory. The 64-year-old known to go to victory lane here. He's got 3 wins here in the Madness Racing League. Need to get my notebook over here intact so I can have all my information needed for tonight's race. Ty Robertson looking to come off Season 3's upset championship loss to Neil Rutt III. Ty Robertson had the lead going into the final race of the playoffs. Got wrecked out and lost it. Ty Robertson's going to look to redeem himself down the back straightaway. Drag race, nose to tail, door to door down the back straightaway. 6 cars on the inside, 8 on the outside. Climbing the banking in turn 3. Ty Robertson will move up the racetrack a little bit. He's got some drafting help from the number 5 of Chase Johnson. He'll pull nose to tail, trade a little bit of paint, nose to tail off of turn 4. Bobby Kyle's got some pushing help from the Ford Mustang behind him. Michael Ponder Jr. Trent Hughes will pull it as well with that blue oval. Got a little bit more distinct kind of manufacturers here in dual race number 2 compared to where we were kind of Chevy'd out in dual race number 1. We got 3 Chevy bow ties on the front row right now, leading positions 1 through 3. Bobby Kyle is the first Toyota Supra in line, followed by a blue oval of the number 13 of Michael Ponder Jr. All 3 manufacturers battling it out here in the Madness Racing League for the dual race win here tonight. Riding at the tail end of Ty Robertson's number 9. All in the mirror is Chase Johnson trying to keep his nose to tail with Ty Robertson giving great pushes through the corner. But on the outside, Carter Jackson in this Miller Lite number 2 trying to push this back bumper of the number 88 all the way to the front here. Logan Perriman grabs the race lead in dual race 2. Logan Perriman, the son of the Marble Man, Virgil Perriman Sr. in dual race number 1. The 42 car's got his son out here. Now he's back on the spotter box trying to guide Logan Perriman to a dual race win. Down the back straightaway, Logan Perriman has never won a race here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel inside of the Madness Racing League. He's got an opportunity to grab a little win right here in a dual race. It'll snag 3 bonus points to your total score. But here comes the bottom line. Ty Robertson, Chase Johnson, Bobby Kyle, Michael Ponder, all nose to tail on the bottom side. Ty Robertson trying to get a little bit of a drafting help from the guys behind him. But everybody stuck nose to tail here, lining up the roll bar with Bobby Kyle. He's absolutely got his hands full inside of this race car. The 64-year-old from the front to the mid-pack, just like that. That's how quickly things can get turned around here in Vegas. Where are my Cletus McFarland fans? We need to get Cletus in the league and get him out here. These guys are putting on a show at Talladega. Do not forget, folks, 60 laps scheduled right after this dual race right here for the main event, where the points will actually pay out and the money will be paid out at the end of the season. You got to start now. 3 wide at Talladega. Braun downstairs in the basement. Crawford up the middle. On the outside is the number 17 of Connor Notary. He's trying to hold that machine well. But Jackson Byram and the Chili's ride that didn't taste 77 will cut to the bottom side of the racetrack. They'll pull right behind the John Michael Bryant number 23 machine. You'll see the run across the front straightaway. 3 wide for last place. 6 laps to go this time around. Give Logan Perriman the race lead across the tinker. Perriman on top, Robertson up bottom on the bottom top side, whatever. You got to throw the block if you're going to want to win it here in dual race number 2. Nobody's sparing anybody an inch here in dual race 2. Riding on board, Carter Jackson. Carter Jackson gets a huge shot, gets big loose up the racetrack right there in front of Terry Hughes Jr. Hughes has to jump up out the gas. That gives the number 88 big time gap beneath him in the number 2. This is going to be killer to the outside line. Robertson will have it all in his hands. Which lane is he going to choose to block? 5 laps to go across the line this time around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We've been caution free up to this point in dual race number 2. John Michael Bryant trying to sell his way up the middle of the number 23 Supra. Jackson Byram riding the Dente now on the bottom side of the racetrack, and that number 77 Chevy Camaro fanning down the back straightaway. Johnson grabs the race lead, and he is big time loose, trying to throw the block, but he's halfway, gets there. Logan Perriman defends it. Here comes Carter Jackson. He'll slice down on the bottom side of the racetrack. John Michael Bryant will take it upstairs in the attic. He'll try to make some ground here on the outside. Getting these cars discombobulated will definitely mean that these guys will get the run that they're looking for. Trouble off of turn 4. One gets collected on the outside wall. 3, 4, 5 cars involved. Klaus Brahm hard on the inside, safer barrier. Holy cow, Michael Ponder Jr. involved in the accident as well. Let's back that ass up for the instant replay, and as we throw it up here, take a look and see what happened off of turn 4. Trouble big time here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Apologize. 3 wide never goes how you intended to. Working off the banking. 4 wide. Pancho McDowell just tries to feed that number 47 in on the bottom side. Gets turned around, round and around and around, and just more mayhem comes around here. Klaus Brahm, goes for a wild ride here at Talladega. Let's back that ass up one more time. See if we can't ride out the front nose of Klaus Brahm's Racers for Christ number 41. Just gets hooked in the left rear, goes around the roof flaps due to boy on that race car, keeping it intact and on the racetrack. Pancho McDowell slams harder to the outside safer barrier. Trent Hughes gets a little bit of damage. Michael Ponder Jr. also gets a little bit of damage. Holy cow, folks. Trying to figure out what just took place here. We'll bring it back on the main broadcast cam, and we can't catch the pace car. Ladies and gentlemen, trouble for the second time here tonight. First time in dual race number 2. We're back here in just a moment. I tell you what, folks, $5 entry fee to get into the Madness Racing League O'Reilly Parts Auto Parts Series, and getting a late start because of me, the broadcaster. I apologize. So these guys were waiting on me. They've really been patient, but I've gotten my money's worth, and they're definitely getting theirs right now. Some action-packed racing in dual race number 1, and Duel race number 2 looks like it's heading to the overtime as well. Green, white, checkered style here on the Madness Racing League. And don't forget, folks, 29 of these O'Reilly cars brought trailers here tonight with backup cars in case they wreck. For the main event, everybody will advance out of the dual races. They are qualifying for their starting spot in that race. So ladies and gentlemen, don't forget maybe that your favorite driver, maybe go flipping upside down. Don't get it twisted, they will be back out here. So what do you say, folks? Let's grab another beer, light another cigarette. Looks like the lights will cut off on top of the pace car. This time around, do we double them up? Yes, we do. We'll double them up, folks. You're getting ready to watch overtime for the second time already here tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway. This will be the rules, folks. Green, white, checkered. Once the green flag flies here in the overtime, these guys will have 2 opportunities at it. If they wreck before getting all the way back around the racetrack and grabbing the white flag, we will throw the caution flag and re-rack them one more time. If they wreck after that, that'll be the end of it. However, there is a striking zone distance here on iRacing within the about 100 feet of the restart zone. When these drivers reach that vicinity area, it kind of takes the privileges out of the admin's hand to be able to call caution flags on the white flag. So it kind of is all hands off if there is a wreck back to the checkered flag. However, there is no intentionally wrecking inside of the Madness Racing League. Beating and banging is allowed, but there's a big difference there in racing IQ if you do not know the difference between wrecking and beating and banging. Check it out right here. Showtime Chase Johnson will be on the front row when the overtime takes the green flag here from Greer, South Carolina. On the outside of him will be Carter Jackson. In this Miller Genuine Draft number 2, won the race at the Kansas Motor Speedway in Season 3. Logan Perriman on the bottom side of the racetrack here. Just a good old redneck from Kentucky trying to make something shake here in dual race number 2. Ty Robertson, snubbed of the Xfinity Series Championship last season. He's looking to start this number 9 team off strong. They'll head off turn 4. Lights are off on top of the pace car. You're getting ready to watch the restart here in overtime. Are you ready? You see the dirt on the racetrack from the earlier caution. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Overtime for dual race number 2. Green flag is back in the air for Carter Jackson and Chase Johnson. Green flag is in the air. Logan Perriman gives a big shot there to Chase Johnson. Carter Jackson has trouble getting going. Johnson will jump up to the top side of the racetrack. No 3 wide into the completion of the first lap here on the restart. You can jump lanes, and that's what they'll do to pull right around the number 88. Johnson will block the number 2 of Carter Jackson all the way through turn 22. 2's all over the racetrack. Off turn 2, the number 2, 2 laps to go. Down the back straightaway. Ty Robertson leads the outside line in the gold number 9 machine. Nobody is going to give an inch. The outside line has absolutely fell apart here on the restart. Here comes the boogeyman, John Michael Bryan, in the Gorilla Mine number 23 Supra. He's got a win in the Super Speedway category in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. He wants to grab his 2nd career win here tonight. If he can grab a dual race win, it's only his better. 3 points to the winner here tonight of the dual race. Side by side, white flag is in the air, presented by AFLglobal.com. All hands are off. First person back to the checker flag will win heat race number 2 here tonight. We'll get you switched on over to the 60-lap main event where you're not going to want to miss a thing. Robertson trying to get to the back bumper of Chase Johnson. Johnson's going to have to play some defense off of turn 2 and down the back straightaway. Robertson jumps to the outside line. He'll get a little bit of momentum and a drafting help push from the number 2. Side by side, drag race down the back straightaway. Johnson on the inside, Robertson on the outside. Neither one with drafting help behind him. Trouble down the back straightaway. Crawford barely gets through. Ponder goes around, so does Trey Hughes. Robertson grabs the race lead. Johnson loses his help. Carter Jackson's on the outside. Ty Robertson with drafting help from Logan Perriman will come across the front straightaway. Nobody's going to contend for it. Ty Robertson's going to win dual race number 2. Ty Robertson, what a move there for the number 9 from Coleman, Alabama. Hometown guy wins the dual race in front of the Alabama crowd here at Talladega. Spot icy is what they usually say about those kind of finishes right there. Can't get the drafting help that you're looking for. You just lose it and go straight to the back, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate every single one of you guys tuning in here. 118 of you live here for the Talladega Super Speedway Madness Racing League O'Reilly Auto Parts Season 4 kickoff race live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll bring up the remaining schedule for the season. Head on over to the YouTube page located in the top right portion of your screen for all of the full races posted over there. Ladies and gentlemen, we will head to the Auto Club Speedway 2 weeks from now live right here on the TikTok channel. It'll be a little bit earlier than what we have here tonight, so you're going to want to pay attention. Again, we appreciate everybody sticking around with us, getting a very, very late start to tonight's race. That is on us as the broadcasters. We'll get that all made up to you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys will have about a 1 minute warm-up session period to dial in the race cards one more time. That'll give us perfect opportunity, to bring up the finishing results from heat race number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, Colin Cole will go to victory lane, and he was carrying the series sponsor on top of that race car. Colin Cole comes all the way here to Talladega tonight to try to sit on the pole, and he'll do exactly that, winning heat race number 1. Heat race number 2 just took place in front of your screen, and seen Ty Robertson go to victory lane. Those will be your 2 winners here tonight so far, and the damn DJ's lacking bringing up some music. Sound like a little butt fuck, you know what I mean? Looks like we're getting ready to grid up and go racing here tonight. That's heat race number 2's final results. Are you ready, folks? 60 laps is what they are going to shake out here tonight. 3 sets of tires for 28 to 32 laps in Sunoco Racing fuel. We'll bring up tonight's starting grid as they continue to load into the field here tonight. Colin Cole, Ty Robertson on the front row, followed by Corey Tessner, Logan Perriman, John Michael Bryant, James Fountain, and the rest of these boys. We got a lot of guys to get to. I'm not going to try to ripple and ram around all of them, but we'll make it very, very quickly. On the front row, driving the CK parking lots, number 77, Colin Cole. On the outside of him will be the number 9 Team Condensy GG Chevy Camaro of Ty Robertson. Starting in the 3rd place position, driving the Black Rifle Coffee Company, number 8, Corey Tessner. Driving the number 19 Chevy Camaro, for MTL Motorsports, Logan Perriman. Driving the Stack of Pennies Podcast, number 01 Camaro from Last Rose Motorsports, Everett Larson. Driving the Gorilla Mine Toyota Supra number 23 machine here tonight, starting in the 5th place spot, J Money Motorsports, is John Michael Bryant. Driving the number 24 for CJR, that's Chase Johnson Racing. That's the driver number 24, James Fountain. Driving the number 2 for Rising Sun Racing, that's the Miller Genuine Draft 2 Camaro of Carter Jackson. On the inside of him will be the Red Bull HendrickCars.com number 3 machine of Andrew Parnell. Driving the number 38 Quick Club Bourbon Bass Pro Shop Chase Johnson Racing Camaro, the number 38 Hammer Allen Hammerbeck. On the outside of him will be the BKM Racing Toyota Supra 777 machine of Bobby Kyle. Driving the number 5 HendrickCars.com, the team owner for Chase Johnson Racing, that's the number 5, Chase Johnson. On the inside of him will be the number 46 Midwest E Motorsports Toyota Supra, the number 46 of Mitchell Wilson. On the outside of him will be the number 81, 4 Pass Pro Mustang from 81XI Racing Talladega Gen 6 Cup Series winner, Terry Hughes Jr. On the inside of him will be the Grimmy Chase Johnson Racing number 10 chartered entry, Brandon McAbee. And driving the Dynamo Productions number 7 Camaro, Connor Dodery. On the outside of him, will be the Domino Productions number 7. That was the Ford Performance Racing School 17 from Rising Sun Racing's Camden Gillidan. Driving the number 4 Budweiser Camaro from Rush Motorsports. That's the number 4 of Kevin Tankos. Coming all the way here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel from Porto Alegre, Brazil, Klaus Braun. And driving the Aaron's number 11 Camaro from Franklin County, Virginia, Dylan Thomas. Driving the, driving the number 48 Queso's Camaro, the number 48 from Kentucky, the large car, Nick Crawford. On the inside of him, driving the number 33 in the 22nd spot here tonight from Home Run Cafe Motorsports, Tony Cook. Driving the number 77 Ride the Dente from Sonoya, Georgia. The number 77, Jackson Byron. Behind him will be the Eagle 1, number 13 Camaro from Ranger, Georgia, as well of Michael Ponder Jr. Driving the number 42 Toyota Supra from Jabez, Kentucky, that's the Marble Man, Virgil Perriman Sr. And on the outside of him will be the number 47 Rain Man, Poncho McDowell from Greenville, South Carolina. On the inside of him will be the Burnside, Kentucky Redneck Build Submarines Toyota of Michael Durham Jr. Behind him will be the number 51 C4 Ultimate Energy Drink Camaro from Williamsburg, Kentucky of Trenton John. Sean Williams will round out the 29th place position here tonight on the Video Scoot Racing channel, with Trent Hughes beginning from the pits. He'll grab the 30th place spot here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time, folks. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Series Season 4 getting ready to kick off here tonight at Talladega. We'll bring up tonight's keys of the race. You're not going to want to miss a damn thing. Key number 1 here tonight is going to be avoiding the big one. We've seen the big one in the dual races and what it can do to your car. You're going to want to stay out front to avoid the trouble. Finally, folks, a tricky pit road here tonight. 60 miles an hour or 55, excuse me. You're going to have to get on the brake hard, and you'll be pitting in packs. You're going to have to be consistent. What do you say, folks? I think we got time for the track fact before we pull off on the racetrack. 60-lap race here tonight. 455-mile-an-hour pit lane speed. 25 to 32 laps in Sunoco Racing fuel as they get ready to tackle on the Talladega Super Speedway for the CK parking lots. 120 live here tonight on the Video Scoot Racing channel. Peter the pace car hangs a left down on the pit lane. We're going to keep it quiet for the opening lap. Let you watch some of the best go at it here in Talladega. Are you ready? Let's go racing in Talladega. Green flag is in the air. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys. Number 1 opening it up here at 3 wide. It's restricted until they complete the first lap. Lap number 1 going to be complete this time around, and it will be held by the CK parking lot maintenance owner, Colin Cole, and the number 77. He'll lead the opening laps here in Season 4. Presented to you by the CK Parking Lot Maintenance Company. Climb of the making here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Side by side, nose to tail. It's the front half pack. Neither one of these guys are going to spare an inch here, knowing how much track position is going to mean here tonight. Excuse me, as we battle a little bit of a laggy condition off the exit here with the cars. We apologize for that, because we got so many cars in the field. It's going to be a little bit trying to get it up and going here. Side by side, Ty Robertson grabs the race lead here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Here comes the boogeyman, John Michael Bryan, in the number 23 Supra. He's on the outside. He's already made up big-time spots already. 2 positions more for the Supra of John Michael Bryan. They'll climb door to door off of turn 4, head across the front straightaway here at Talladega. Logan Perriman will drop to the bottom side and grab the race lead, head across the tri-oval here. Logan Perriman will lead 1 lap here, 3 laps, 2 different leaders. John Michael Bryant now has the front row out front clear to himself. He's got drafting hell behind him from Carter Jackson in the number 2 machine all over that back bumper of John Michael Bryant. You see John Michael trying to keep the Super in charge, nose to tail. The moms are stood up on their feet. Your mom's favorite driver trying to grab the lead here early at Talladega. John Michael Bryant hasn't been back to victory lane since Season 1. This is now Season 4. The boogeyman picking up where he left off at the Super Speedway program. He's looking to lead the lap here at Talladega. John Michael Bryant has the race lead in Alabama. Side by side for the race lead. Michael down low. Carter Jackson up top, trying to make something move, folks. 4 laps into the CK parking lot's 120. I think it's only right, folks, to get you down on the racetrack for tonight's first Madness Racing League CK parking lots fast and loud of the season. What do you say, folks? Turn 4, fast and loud, bringing it up here the Talladega Super Speedway. Logan Perriman has the race lead here early, kicking off lap number 7 of season 4. Ladies and gentlemen, we are apologizing here for the graphics and a little bit of the choppy response here from the cars on track. We apologize. We are still trying to fix that technical difficulties here, but as we have it, things are still moving, engines are still running, drivers are still on the racetrack. We'll keep it up and moving and showing you what you have it. About 16 cars on the bottom side to about the 12 on the outside. 30 cars rounded out the field here tonight, and 16 plus 12 does not equal 30. I went to public school. Don't shame me, folks. Bobby Kyle, sponsorless here in season 4 on top of this 777 Toyota Supra. Bobby Kyle from Honorsville, Georgia, looking for some potential sponsorship here inside of the Madness Racing League. If you're looking to get your company on board that 777 machine, shoot him a TikTok DM, shoot him an Instagram, whatever the case may be. Bobby Kyle gets it done. Been doing this sim racing shit longer than you've been alive. Trying to find a good angle, folks, for you to be able to hear me commentate the drafting down the back straightaway, nose to tail, side by side. The outside line tries to get a big run to the inside line, but they just can't seem to get it. Big time disconnected there with the number 41 white and blue machine across Klaus Prom. He's trying to get to the back bumper of the number 45, excuse me. The 46 of Mitchell Wilson in that orange Supra in front of him. Chase Johnson gets real tight high up the racetrack right there. Larson jumps back down on the middle side of the racetrack. Johnson to follow him. Larson getting big time loose here at the Talladega Super Speedway, flying across the front straightaway. .30 cars trying to rip and roar around the Talladega Super Speedway, climbing the 33-degree banking. What a absolute beautiful shot of all the contestants here in Season 4 of the Madness Racing League. Season 4 O'Reilly Auto Parts Series presented to you by the CK Parking Lot Maintenance. And I thought I seen one on my ticker get loose and go around, but I must be seeing shit, folks. John Michael Bryant grid locked up the middle 3 wide in this Gorilla Mine Supra after leading a few laps early here at Talladega. Heading back across the front straightaway here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Not an inch is being spared between none of the drivers. One's hard on the outside, safe for barrier. Holy cow, that's Mitchell Wilson. Him and Michael Durham Jr. scrape the outside wall. Michael Durham Jr. slow on the racetrack, but they're able to keep it going. We'll keep it underneath the green flag. Here's what I'm hearing per the admin. Only 2 guys wrecked. You'll need a big majority group of guys to bring out a caution flag. Battle down the back straightaway. Perriman on the inside. Larson, the pole sitter, fighting back on the outside. Larson set the pole in his dual race there, but couldn't grab the win. He's trying to get this number 01 machine out in front, but Chase Johnson is all over the back bumper of Everett Larson, trying to give him what he wants. Chase Johnson is nowhere near his teammates at this given point in the race. He's a lonesome Chevy Chase Johnson driver out there. Here comes Logan Perriman from MTL Motorsports in that number 88 WeatherTech machine. John Michael Bryant will pull right behind what's going to be the number 5 HendrickCars.com machine of Chase Johnson. Climbing the banking through turns 2, heading down the back straightaway. Can Bryant get to the back bumper of Johnson, get it clear for the race lead? Freedom! We need Cletus McFarland out here ripping and roaring through the Madness Racing League's Talladega Super Speedway. Cletus would make this thing absolutely 10 times better than it's already been so far. The CK parking lot's 120 is scheduled for 60 laps here tonight. That's almost 120 miles. These guys got a handful on their head here tonight. A hot day to go racing as well. We'll pull up tonight's Madness Racing League weather report as they climb the banking through turns 1 and 2. 84 degrees outside here in Alabama, which indicates to us that the track temp on the racetrack's got to be well into the triple digits. I'd say probably about 105 to 110 degrees. And the track temper trouble down the back straightaway. Several guys involved. One goes around. That's Brandon McAbee. He's backwards down the back straightaway. Keep your foot on the brake, Brandon. That could have been disaster, but the ass end is smashed in on the number 10 machine of Grimmy, Brandon McAbee from Spartanburg, South Carolina. We'll back that ass up for the instant replay. Take a look and see what the hell just took place. Holy cow, the number 10 of Brandon Grimmy McAbee goes around. Brandon McAbee, a local artist from Spartanburg, South Carolina, can go stream all of his, music or whatever that is on all streaming music platform sites at Grimmy. He puts out some hard-ass music. He was the pre-race show here tonight. Brandon McAbee working down the back straightaway on that outside line. Looks like a bad push going wrong, and he gets tagged and goes around big time. Hopefully Brandon kept his foot on the clutch and the brake and didn't allow the motor to spin backwards. That could cause catastrophic, if I could ever spit out the word that I'm trying to say, damage to the motor. Watch Brandon McAbee there on that outside line in that number 10 machine. Check up in front of him, nowhere to go, just gets smashed here. Goes around big time, and what a ride for Brandon McAbee. He's nose to tail with the rest of the field. Almost plugs in the back end of the wall, but he's able to keep his foot down on the brake. Caution flag did fly here. Looks like everybody else was able to make it through the front half of the field. See if I can't get it over. Yeah, there he is, Peter the pace car, and get it back live for you guys. We'll be back in just a moment. First caution flag here in the main event. We got more than 10 laps. Couldn't be more happy. Back in just a moment. Welcome back here on the Booty School Racing Channel. Proud shout out there to our sponsors on the right side of your screen, making this thing shake out and work every single week. A couple of guys catching the tail end of the field. That's the number 17 of Connor Dotery, Corey Riptide Tesner. A couple of guys come down on the pit lane. Want to top off on Sunoco Racing Fuel. Brandon McAbee's down on pit lane, addressing some of the damage. And looks like Mitchell Wilson has a broken toe link. Won't let him go nowhere down there on pit lane. So we should get the restart this time to go around, at least the one to go racing, I shall say. Want to give a huge shout out to everybody who makes this thing go around and everybody continuously showing up week in and week out inside of the Madness Racing League's TikTok platform live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, showing you your biggest, proudest moments by watching us. It really does mean a lot to us. Appreciate everybody smacking that like button and that follow button. We'll have a couple guys stay out. Logan Perriman will play a little bit of a strategy game here. Michael Ponder Jr. will stay out, as well as Trenton Johns. Virgil Perriman Sr. will elect to stay out as well. So the Redneck Kentucky boys electing to pit together. I got a couple more coming down pit lane, half the damn field. Decides like they're going to call it quits, coming out on pit lane. What is it going to be here for majority of these drivers? I would imagine 4 tires and 2 cans of Sunoco Racing Fuel. Chase Johnson will get a splash and go. He's on and off pit lane. So a lot of splash and goes here. Sunoco Racing Fuel for majority of these drivers. But not much tire wear here at the Talladega Super Speedway when you're racing in the draft. You don't really need those rubber Goodyear tires to their freshest ability, because these guys know for a fact that they have the grip underneath control as long as they hold on to the lead pack draft. Virgil Perriman stays out on the racetrack with Trenton Johns, Michael Ponder Jr. with Logan Perriman leading the event here tonight. Trenton Johns is now up 26 spots from where he started. The Williamsburg, Kentucky Redneck sitting hard Charger Award position right now. If he can hold on to it to the end of the race, he can snag him some bonus points to his total score for MTL Motorsports. Riding on board the number 8 of Corey Riptide Tesner. Corey Tesner back in action here. You hear him on the clutch trying to save a little bit of Sunoco Racing Fuel. Every drop is going to matter here tonight. Everett Larson back in action here after winning 2 races in Season 3. At the North Wilkesboro Speedway, Everett Larson put on a hell of a show. Colin Cole back in action for the first time here full-time in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. At 77, won a dual race earlier tonight. Can he get it out front? As we come around to double file it up, we'll give a couple shout outs to our sponsors here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Does your house smell like absolute you know what? Get a hold of Gill Moose Cub Flicker and Fresh Candle Based Scent Company in Inman, South Carolina. Make sure you're calling and contacting Kate Horton, the owner, maker, and artist at 864-909-9966 for all of your body wax, luxury candles, gift set, artisan soaps, body and home care products. You name it. We're going to check out Gill Moose Cove at myshopify.com. Me personally, I'm a baseball fan, folks. It is that time of year. You need to get the little one a brand new glove, a brand new bat. Head on over to closeoutbats.com, located in Westwood, New Jersey, and shop over 50,000 baseball and softball bats and gloves since 1992. Over 650,000 satisfied customers coming out of the Closeout Bats front doors. We'll get you back down here on the main broadcast cam. Peter the base car paces the field behind him through turns 1 and 2. These guys look like they're arguing over position, so we'll have to get that figured out there. We'll have to admin figure out who's supposed to belong, where, when, what, where, why, how, and when. Heading off the turn 2 and down the Alabama Gang Super Stretch, the lights are off on top of the base car. 2 dual races are already complete here tonight and are loaded up for you to be able to watch on the YouTube page at the conclusion of tonight's event. We are racing, the CK Parking Lot Maintenance 120 here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We are 15 of the 60 laps completed into tonight's event. On the inside front row is going to be Logan Perriman. He will be our race leader, not Michael Ponder Jr. We've had 1 caution flag here tonight for what is going, 2 caution flags, for what is going to be 3 laps. 5 different lead changes. That was going to be one of the topics that I wanted to touch base on here at some point tonight. Wanted to really get the drivers, up and moving through the gears first before we really started kicking off any of the crazy storyline and broadcast stuff that I have written down here. Talking to a couple of these drivers before the race took place here tonight, wanting to grab all my research on how these drivers felt coming into Talladega. And everybody knows it's a brand new league here. When you go to Talladega and you do the super speedway races to kick them off, some guys may not return. They may not like the product that they see. Heading through the restart zone here, the Talladega Super Speedway, you're looking out the fan cam here, presented to you by CK Parking Lot Maintenance. Green flag is back in the air here for Logan Perriman and Trenton Johns and Michael Ponder Jr. on the front row. Logan Perriman trying to get a little bit of a pushing help there from Trenton Johns. These two guys from Kentucky, nose to tail, piled up here, teammates. Looks like the 88 will stay down on the bottom side of the racetrack, not trying to get swirly. Remember, folks, no 3 wide until the completion of the first lap on any restart and or start of the event. These guys will have to stay double file with one another until they come back around the to the start-finish line, and then these guys can make moves. That is so loud, and yes, this is a live race, and yes, it is 12:42 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We had a very late start to tonight's event, and it is all on the broadcaster. I apologize. Coming from out of town, I got to the sim rig late. These guys waited as long as possible on me, which is why you didn't get to see this race earlier tonight when it was scheduled to go live at 10 p.m. Eastern. We are late with it, but these guys, 30 of them, have stuck around for an opportunity to be crowned a winner on the Booty Scoot Racing channel on the TikTok platform. And it's all of you guys making shit happen. At one point here tonight, we had 118 live viewers tuned in to the CK Parking Lots 120. It's been an absolute barn burner ever since. Working lap number 18. Slowly approaching the 40 lap to go mark here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Brandon McAbee has climbed out of the number 10 for Chase Johnson Racing. Brandon McAbee will take a trip to the infield care center. Said the motor spun backwards on that super when he went backwards and rolled for a great large distance down the back straightaway. 3 wide is now in effect. Virgil Perriman gets loose down the back straightaway. Logan Perriman leading the race. His father trying to get to the back bumper. You're riding out the front nose of the number 42, the Marlboro Man. Virgil Perriman, a United States veteran. We appreciate Virgil for his service. Jabez, Kentucky, stand up. He's trying to get to his son, the race leader, Logan Perriman. The father-son duo coming here tonight for MTL Motorsports. Going to have to work together, but right now they got a pick in front of them. That's Michael Ponder Jr., who drove his way up here in that blue oval, the number 13 from Ranger, Georgia. Didn't have to make a long trip here tonight to Alabama, but he's here. And he's all over the back bumper of the number 51. That 51 machine is Trent Johns in the seat. Oh, we got trouble out the turn to 3. The big one here at Talladega. Caution flag is out. Connor Dotery's backwards here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. The Ford Performance number 17. We'll have to back that ass up because I didn't even see that right there. Holy cow. We'll back that ass up for the instant replay, kind of get a look and see exactly what the ever-living hell just took place there. Tony Cook involved in another accident. See if we can't take this up to the blimp cam, show us what we needed. Heading down the back straightaway, you see maybe a checkup right there. Connor Dotery gets trapped up the racetrack. Looks like Dylan Jones was the initial suspect to start it. Tony Cook takes a hard shot and the roof comes up on that 33. We'll spec that ass up one more time. Let's see if we can't see what happened to Tony Cook out the front nose of his machine, if he even has one left. Just a big checkup in front of the number 33 machine. One comes up the racetrack. Tony Cook has nowhere to go. The motor blows and the Home Run Cafe hood flops right up in front of the face of the 33. Sean Williams gets through it. Nick Crawford gets through it. Alan Hammerbeck barely snips through that right there. Crawford, he's nipped in the right rear right there. Terry Hughes Jr. in trouble as well, but Connor Dotery is the one that goes around backwards here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Dylan Jones tore up in the number 11. The right front won't even turn on that Franklin County machine, and big time trouble here at Talladega. Chase Johnson has got the race lead, and he looks like he's finally caught the damn pace car. We'll be back here in just a moment. We'll leave it side by side. You don't want to miss a thing. They'll take a pit stop. So will we. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Get you back here to the main broadcast as they get ready to come down on the pit lane for the pit stops here tonight. And let me get that off of your screen there so we can refresh ours. That'll give us the exact update on fuel mileage on my end of my ticker, so I apologize for that white brief screen on yours. Everett Larson is going to call it for a pit stop right here. He'll bring a couple more drivers and attract them right behind him. It'll be John Michael Bryant second, Colin Cole coming down pit lane third, followed by Ty Robertson, the Rain Man, Poncho McDowell, Kevin Tankos, Nick Crawford, Sean Williams, Trent Hughes will bring it down on the pit lane as well as Sean Williams, Terry Hughes Jr., Connor Dotery involved in the accident. Alan Hammerbeck will come to patch up a little bit of the work needed on this machine. Poncho McDowell, one of our favorite drivers here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, see him sitting inside of this number 47 pit stop. They'll drop the jacket. He'll be on and off of pit lane. We were talking to the number 47, the Rain Man, earlier today. Poncho McDowell, the owner of Poncho Customs. Check him out on TikTok at Poncho Customs for all of your 3D printing needs. Poncho McDowell does it all. Trophies, lights, you name it. Poncho McDowell, creator at the behind the wheel and with his hands. Been an absolute banger race so far here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, and Chase Johnson is leading tonight's event at the Talladega Super Speedway. One thing about Chase Johnson, he's got that Kyle Larson number 5 style font on his machine, and it's kind of got the look like Kyle Larson when it comes to the super speedways. I've been doing the Booty Scoot Racing channel now for about almost 2 years, and I don't think I've ever seen Chase Johnson win a super speedway race in my life, and he's always getting flipped upside down and tossed into the outside retaining wall and running out of fuel in the last laps, maybe blowing motors. Something always going wrong for the race leader, Chase Johnson. Can he change his luck around here tonight? He's out front, got some fuel in the race car. He'll be one of the select few that stayed out on the racetrack. See if I can't pull up those pit strategy calls for you here in just a moment. So if I can pull up the top 15 drivers here and how they shook things out here, we apologize for making you have to listen to that.
Identification live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel.
And we appreciate that AI robot telling us how much we appreciate all of our sponsors. Here on the pit stop strategy laps and how everybody worked it down. Michael Ponder Jr. trying to make something shake inside of his race car. That number 13 is going to stay out on the racetrack and yet to go down the top down on fuel. Logan Perriman's going to stay out on the racetrack. I'm trying to just think about it in my head on how this could possibly work. Both Perrimans on the same strategy, stay out on the racetrack. Trent Johns trying to make something shake fuel mileage-wise as well. So, unique. I went to public school, folks, so I'm not the greatest with math. You give me just a moment, I'll try to calculate up how much fuel these drivers have inside of these race cars. I can kind of put a number on maybe where we could see some pit stops again at some point. If it continues to play out like it has up to this point tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, we for sure will have to make another green flag pit stop at some point if we can keep it green. And several drivers on different strategies, like the top 3 drivers staying out and getting to go down and top off on Sunoco Racing fuel. That'll leave several guys trying their hardest. Oh, well, never mind. These looks like these guys did go down and top off on some fuel. So, smart call there. That's don't want to run out of fuel here at Talladega, especially when you got the CK Parking Lot 120 trophy on the line here tonight. Restart coming here in just a moment. Johnson on the bottom side. John's up top in the front row. Off the pit lane was Logan Perriman in the number 88 WeatherTech machine, followed by Corey Tessner on the outside. Michael Ponder Jr. will shake out the number 13. He's got a better track position spot than he had just a minute ago. And on the outside of him will be the Marlboro Man, Virgil Perriman Sr. We'll see if this number 42 Super can get to the back bumper of his son, Logan, in that WeatherTech Camaro. Don't have to be the same manufacturers to be teammates. Pace car hangs the left down on the pit lane this time around. Chase Johnson will be the one charging back to the restart zone. He'll have to fire off when he gets inside of it. No 3 wide. It's with the completion of the first lap on all restarts and start of tonight's event. Several guys come back down on the pit lane to top it off with Sunoco Racing fuel. That is why they are single file for entering a closed pit. Green flag back in the air here at Talladega. Number 8 of Corey Tessner trading paint right there with Michael Ponder Jr. Don't let him lead him to nowhere. That kills the outside momentum, though. Virgil Perriman trying to get a run in the back bumper of the number 8 of Corey Tessner. He's being shoved by the Carter Jackson number 2 machine. Chase Johnson must be fighting sleep behind the wheel, getting late into the night in real life time, but on the virtual simulator. We're still rocking and rolling at Talladega. We apologize for the late start here tonight. Chase Johnson leads lap 24 here tonight. Here comes the Racers for Christ, number 41 from Porto Alegre, Brazil. Klaus Braun trying his hardest to get this number 41 Camaro up to the front, leading the outside line. Tessner will jump up there, give Klaus a little bit of help. Klaus Braun, an engineer during the week, race car driver on the weekends, trying his hardest to get this 41 Camaro to the front half of the field. 3 cars will jump up and block him. Here comes Bobby Kyle in the 777, the old-timer. The 65-year-old Bobby Kyle trying to make his way to the front of the field. Drag race off the tri-oval, back down into turn 1. Chase Johnson has the race lead. Logan Perriman in the trailing distance behind Chase Johnson, selling up the racetrack. Bobby Kyle fights back hard on the outside. Lap traffic up ahead, for Andrew Parnell. He'll get out of the way of the flowing fast pack, charging at him at 100, 200 miles an hour. Sailing into turn 3, Bobby Kyle has the race lead. Whoa! Big time loose. John Michael Bryant, what a save in the number 23. Michael Ponder Jr. saved his race car as well. What a save from the boogeyman, John Michael Bryant. Your mom's favorite driver damn near lost that 23 Supra. Got to fight back here, 3 wide across the front straightaway. John Michael Bryant has his hands full at Talladega. What a save there from the 13 of Michael Ponder Jr. as well. Don't want to let it go unnoticed. The Eagle 113 still has a race car because the driver and his talent and his ability to be able to save it at 200 miles an hour after getting pushed in the ass end and getting upset. Ladies and gentlemen, this has split this race slam up in half. We're not even at the halfway point part of tonight's event. We're 4 laps away from it. We have now what is going to be 2 separate packs distanced each other away from here around the Talladega Super Speedway. They are going to have to, are going to have to get in line and draft each other now. It is not about racing up at this point now. You can scouse, beat, bang, and move all you want to. But without the pack being side by side and enough cars on the same page, you will go stagnant in the field here tonight. There is the whole field on one portion part of your screen, but look at the gaps in between the field. This is going to be crucial for these guys to get it figured out. What lane is going to hold it together the best? Larson's already got his crew. Larson's got his crew nose to tail behind him. John Michael Bryant leading the further back crew. Can he grab the drafting help? He just needs a little bit of draft from the back half of that car in front of him. Pull him up there, and they may have a chance to run these guys down. Lap traffic up ahead again for Andrew Parnell. He'll get out of the way again in that number 3 machine. So absolutely great racing, being professional from the number 3 of Andrew Parnell. Trouble earlier in tonight's event, a super speedway merchant. He was one of the betting favorites here tonight. Single file here at the Talladega Super Speedway, where a little bit of a wrong push has split up the pack into 2 separate fields. Everett Larson leads the back half group to the front half group, trying to close the distance. The last car in line on the front half is the number 7 of Camden Gillidan for Rising Sun Motorsports from South Haven, Kansas. Camden Gillidan cannot afford to give up the draft right here on the Moody Scoot Racing channel. He's blinking in and out, but he does have his drafting teammate in front of him, the Rising Sun Racing team owner, Carter Jackson. They'll try to close the gap up down the back straightaway. The 17 will fall to the back half of the pack. Here comes the second group of Everett Larson and his boys. They'll run nose to tail. We'll see if you can't bring up the battle box and how they all run. We're going to need about 10 of these things to bring up the whole field and how they shake out currently at this moment. Ladies and gentlemen, the battle for the 9th place spot continues to try to run down the front place positions. I apologize as my voice cracks in and out of there. Holy cow, folks. What do you say? These guys putting on the show. 2-second gap difference between the 2 packs. We'll leave it up here in the spotter cam. We'll take it to a quick commercial break. We'll be back in just a moment. You're not going to want to miss a thing.
We will be back in a moment as we pause for station identification live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We will be back in a moment as we pause for station identification live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel.
Welcome back here on the Moody Scoot Racing channel. Just kicking it up here on the spotter stand as we watch the gap between the 2 lines start to really dissipate here. Everett Larson, will bring it back on your screen, has brought the gap down to about 2.6 seconds. He's got a group of about 9 cars, nose to tail, willing to work with one another to get to the cars in front of them. These guys are going to have to be perfect. But look at this, folks. Connor Notary isn't wanting to sit around here tonight at Talladega and draft single file. He'll make a move to the top side of the racetrack. He'll grab another one as well. That's Bobby Kyle to the outside. Bobby Kyle wanting to win here tonight at Talladega. The old-timer moving his way up to the top side of the racetrack. This is really starting to slow down this pack. Everett Larson closing on big time to the group in front of it. Ladies and gentlemen, look at the gap slowly being closed up here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Corey Tessner leads the front half group. A little bit of a push gone wrong has separated the pack by about 2.4 seconds right now on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Camden Gillidan trying to keep on nose to tail here with the guys in front of him. Connor Dotery makes a move to try to go to the front. It'll cost him big time. But Everett Larson's loving what he's seeing out the front half of this Stacking Pennies podcast number 01 machine. Larson sees the guys racing in front of him. It's slowing them down tremendously. Larson 0.2 faster a lap that last time around than the guys in front of him. You see the gap in between the two packs right there. Corey Tessner riding, got the hiccups now. Easily down the back straightaway. Whoa, we got some guys coming down on the pit lane already. Logan Perriman, Virgil Perriman, the Kentucky Rednecks calling it down on the pit lane. They'll go ahead and start the cycle here tonight with 27 laps to go on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. The number 51 pulls into his pit box. That's Trenton Johns. He's acting for no tires, just a splash and go on the number 51 machine. They're trying to plead with Trenton Johns, speeding on pit road for the 51. Virgil Perriman comes down on the pit lane. No! Virgil Perriman will take 4 tires and a full can of Sunoco, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel. Apologize there. The admin says no speeding on pit lane for the number 51. Logan Perriman will win the battle off pit lane. He's going to have to get it up and moving though. Corey Tessner leading the outside front pack is on the roll here. He will catch these guys in front of him. They will lose a lap here underneath the green flag pit cycle. Will it work out for him in the long run? Trying to get back up through the gears coming off of pit lane. The pack coming at full speed ahead off of turn 2. Corey Tessner will have an opportunity here to add 3 more cars to his line and separate the pack behind him that's slowly closing it up. Tessner and his whole group will nice and neatly slide right around the 3 cars coming off of pit lane and Logan Perriman and Michael Durham Jr. and the rest of these boys. Holy cow. 25 laps to go at Talladega. We know the guys that just came off of pit lane are good on Sunoco Racing fuel, but everybody else will have to make at least one more stop. Just trying to keep gap distances close here on the side of my screen. 3.5 seconds is now the distance. Was 3.6. These guys really starting to get swirly on one another, possibly getting down to the bottom side of the racetrack. If we see these guys at any point in time get caught up to one another and stay single file, could we be knocking on the back door to a green flag pit stop here late at Talladega? Everett Larson has now caught the lap traffic pitted cars ahead of him. This was the group that brought it down on the pit lane back on lap, I believe it was lap 43, 42, something like that. Virgil Perriman got a right front tire. Starting to go flat here. He's falling back to the back half of the pack. Maybe a loose nug on the 42. Larson just can't get the momentum to get around the grab group of guys in front of it. This is going to be killer for that outside line at the front half group lap cars. Able to get up to speed in time. They'll fall in front of Everett Larson. Now Larson has 3 lap cars in front of him. That may be a smart play by the number 01 of Everett Larson. Grab 3 more cars, put them in your line to go run down the group in front of you. 2, 4, 6, 8 cars on the front half pack, 10 on the back half. 12 cars, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12 cars trying to run down 8 cars in front of them. This one should be closed up in no time. Logan Perriman brings his crew down on the pit lane with more than 25 laps to go. They were trying to run it absolutely close, and they've got a chance here, but they're going to have to keep it straight together, and they're going to fall back. They know for sure, but they got to get their lap back somehow. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's only right we get you down on the racetrack for one more Madness Racing League O'Reilly Auto Parts Season 4 kickoff. Fast and Loud, presented to you by the CK Parking Lot Maintenance Company in Lincoln, Nebraska. Out the exit of turn 2, flying down the back straightaway, bringing it up for the Fast and Loud here in the Madness Racing League. We have officially reached the 20 lap to go mark here tonight at Talladega. It is anybody's ball game, and what do we mean by that? Green flag pit stops still need to be coming to effect. Larson gets loose on the bottom side of the racetrack. He's able to hold on to it. Ladies and gentlemen, a push gone wrong has separated these groups for about the last 10 to 12 laps or so. Everett Larson finally gets his group back up here and caught up in front, but that's without the drafting help of Logan Perriman in this number 88 WeatherTech machine. Logan Perriman brought him and two of his teammates down on the pit lane with more than 25 laps to go, trying to make something shake underneath the green flag pit cycle and get back out front. They have absolutely played their cards perfect. They need to get out in front of the pack, though, and be in front of Corey Tessner when the pit stops are made, so they can be on the lead lap when those stops happen, and then it'll be all on the front half guys on pit lane to come run them down. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now got what is going to be 19 to 23 cars, nose to tail, single file at Talladega, knocking on the back door to some green flag pit stops, with 18 laps to go. Who's going to do what, when, where, why, how, and with who? Do you have a dancing partner, a teammate, anybody to go down pit lane with if you don't go down with the big group? However, though, one of our keys of the race here tonight was that tricky pit lane entrance, with everybody wanting to come down at one time at the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's Talladega Super Speedway. You must find a spot and not get ran over here going on the pit lane. One thing you cannot afford here in Season 4, race number 1 on the paid entry portion part with a brand new Force points payment out is any kind of mistake on pit lane. You do not want to get rid of that car and wreck it. Going on the pit lane, trying to service it for Sunoco Racing Fuel. How many of these drivers take tires when they go down on the pit lane? This could be crunch time now as the pay window will open up in about 17 laps from now. Corey Tesner leads him at Talladega. Can he hold on with his teammate James Fountain pushing right behind him down the back straightaway? Bobby Kyle has played it tremendously perfect here tonight. The old-timer, the 65-year-old BK for BKM Motorsports from Honorsville, Georgia, makes the short trip out here to Alabama, and he's got the track position that he needs late. He's been to victory lane before here at Talladega inside of the Madness Racing League. Bobby Kyle has been sim racing longer than probably you've been alive if you're watching this and you're probably under the age of 25, because Bobby Kyle's been doing it for 25 years plus. You see him riding on board right now, not having any kind of problems holding that race car stable in the draft. But on the outside, here comes the number 17 of Connor Dotery. He wants the race lead here with 16 laps to go. Pell City, Alabama, stand up. Here comes the hometown hero, Connor Dotery, to the race lead. Connor Dotery has played his cards perfect to this exact point. He'll lead the lap here tonight at Talladega. Connor Dotery, put it on the board. The crowd will rip and roar, stand on their feet. Connor Dotery's going to block both lanes. He'll go to the bottom, to the top side, try to play defense. Off the banking of turn 2, 33-degree banking in each side of the racetrack. Down the back straightaway, almost a mile long, its damn self. Jumping and weaving from lane to lane. Do we have a green flag pit stop being on our way? These drivers will have to use the radio inside of the race cars, communicate with one another. Don't want to get ran over trying to come down on the pit lane. Do we get any takers this time around? We know that they will have to make a stop at some point here tonight. We'll pull up the pit strategy pit stop lap count. Majority of the drivers have not pitted since lap number 13 here tonight. Only 32 to 28 laps in Sunoco Racing Fuel. We've had a few caution flags to save a little bit. How do these drivers manage the closing laps here tonight? 14 laps to go at Talladega is more than enough racing to make something work here on the long run. Race number 1 of 10 of the season 4 of the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. John Michael Bryant, your mom's favorite driver, back into the picture here late at Talladega from Greer, South Carolina. The Toyota Supra trying to gain up some track position here before the green flag pit stop. Listening into a few of these radio chatter communications, we could be seeing some pit stops here in the next couple laps. Interesting those, because guys like Everett Larson in this number 01, the guys that you've seen come back down on lap number 21, they came down and took the EOL penalty for pitting on a closed pit. Larson back to the lead here off turn 2. Everett Larson led him, the guy behind him, really all three cars behind him, and Robertson, Tankos, and Hughes down pit lane on lap number 21, 25 or so. They topped off on Sunoco Racing Fuel. They knew that they were going to be good, but it was underneath the caution flag, so they had the opportunity to get out front big time early. Love seeing these Madness Racing League racing banners on the windshield of these drivers. We got green flag pit stops on our way, led by Connor Dotery and the number 17, followed by Carter Jackson, Klaus Brahm, Camden Gillidan, and Bobby Kyle bringing it down on the pit lane. Klaus Brahm will pull into his pit box there. They'll put no tires on it. Looks like it's going to be 2 cans of Sunoco Racing Fuel for the Brazil driver, driving the number 41 for Racers Christ Chevy Camaro. They'll drop the jack and he's on and off pit lane. Carter Jackson and these boys look like they will take two tires on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, trying to pack the car full of Sunoco Racing fuel. Camden Dillon and him drop the jack. Bobby Kyle may get left here by this group. Here comes Terry Hughes Jr. He's been marked back in the pack with some damage for the first half of tonight's event with large car Nick Crawford. They'll make up a little bit of positions right there as these guys continue to make pit stops. Connor Dotery speeding on pit lane. Here comes Corey Tesner, John Michael Bryant, James Fountain, Chase Johnson, Alan Hammerbeck, and them go around entering pit lane. Alan Hammerbeck goes around on pit lane, trying to get it clear and bring it down. Colin Cole goes around in the number 77 machine. Corey Tesner speeding on pit lane. John Michael Bryant speeding on pit lane. Chase Johnson speeding on pit lane. Alan Hammerbeck speeding on pit lane. Chase Johnson racing, throws the race away here late. James Fountain, the only one to get off without a penalty. Everett Larson now the race leader with Tankos. Trent Hughes and Robertson behind him. They'll come down on the pit lane. They'll make one more stop here tonight at Talladega. Larson, Tankos, Hughes. Larson locks up the right rear tire. Does he get it slowed down enough? Yes, he does. Larson is clear on the black flag. No penalty here for neither one of these drivers. Trent Hughes will pull it into the pit lane here. The hometown Giro overdrive just a little bit here. Trying to get a little bit of Sunoco Racing fuel. They'll patch out the right front tire. The right rear damage, excuse me. James Fountain way gone off the pit lane now. He is sailed away with it here. He is the only one that got off the pit lane clearly with his group. Chase Johnson just now getting to leave pit lane with John Michael Bryant speeding on pit road for several of these drivers. It'll cost Corey Tesner as well. Corey Tesner, though, mathematically now will lead the most laps here tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway, just threw his chance away at winning tonight's event, hoping and praying for a caution flag. 10 laps to go here at Talladega. Anything's possible. The good news is, though, there, folks, with the second pack getting broken up on the pit strategy call, that has absolutely allowed Everett Larson, Ty Robertson, Kevin Tankos, and Trent Hughes to have a shot at it. James Fountain catches the back bumper coming off pit lane of Trent Hughes. He's made the path for the fourth place spot. Can this front half group catch one another and battle it out for the race win? Or do we see a caution flag in the closing laps? We'll try to keep it clean here. Here comes the number 41 of Klaus Brahm, who got it on and off the pit lane cleanly there without getting a penalty. He'll lead it from the 6th place spot. He's got his 2 group of cars behind him. Colin Cole will now remerge on the racetrack after his speeding penalty down on the pit lane. You're watching the race lead. This will be the battle for possibly the win here tonight. The cycle has not completed all the way through yet. Still got a few more laps to go and a few more drivers to call it quits down on pit lane. How many of these drivers have something up their sleeve? Have they been saving enough fuel? Kevin Tankos looking to pick off where he left off in season 2 when he won the championship. Kevin Tankos trying to grab a win here tonight at Talladega. This back half group, though, may be the ones to look out for. They have some lap traffic cars. James Fountain in the 4th place position. Behind him, top 5, Trent Hughes. These boys have the draft and help that they need from some guys behind him. Klaus Brahm in the pit cycle. This is going to be, looks like positions 4 through 8, catching the back half of one another. Do they have enough momentum to run down Everett Larson in the group ahead? That's the distance right there between the race win here tonight between 5 cars, on the lead lap here from Fountain on back to Gillidan with a chance to win it here tonight at Talladega. Robertson has Tankos and Larson in his mirror with 7 laps to go. We've seen it earlier. 2 packs get broken apart. The back pack was actually able to run down the front half group after about 12 laps. Do James Fountain and these boys have enough to run them down late? reporting James Fountain got into the boogeyman there on the pit lane, got a little bit of damage to the number 24. It cost him some time. James Fountain, does he have the car to lead this front half pack? Looks like he'll pull out of the way. James Fountain may be having trouble with the number 24 lane here. Trent Hughes will take over the drafting leading duties of this back group, being pushed by the number 41 of Klaus Brom. Klaus Brom for Porto Alegre, Brazil, trying to make something shake inside of this number 41 machine. They had an amazing pit stop for this number 41 team. Brom is going to try everything he knows possible to get Trent Hughes to the back bumper of Everett Larson, who rolls in the third place spot. This is the front three drivers trying to win the race here tonight at Talladega. What makes this interesting, folks, Kevin Tankos, Ty Robertson, Everett Larson were one of the three drivers to go down on the pit lane and top off on Sunoco Racing fuel when we had the previous caution flag back on lap number 23 or 24 or so. 60 laps have been scheduled here tonight for the CK Parking Lots 120. Trent Hughes, the hometown hero from Alabama, trying everything he knows possible. He has the Hard Charger Award in his back pocket right now, up 20 spots from where he started. Can this Ford Mustang of Trent Hughes pick up his first ever career win in the Madness Racing League? He's trying his hardest to get the pushes from the back of this Ford Mustang. You see Klaus Brom trying to size him up for another shot. You look on the screen on the left side of your screen, Trent Hughes now has the gap down to 4.1 seconds, trying to learn and dissect the guys behind him to get the drafting help needed to run down the group in front of him. They may knock it down to 3.9 this lap around. Ty Robertson, though, looking to make a move here with 4 laps to go. Riding out the front windshield cam, looking directly at Ty Robertson, plot his move to try to win the race here tonight around Kevin Tankos. 4 laps to go here at Talladega. It's anybody's ball game. So Tesner and Crawford will be the two guys up front ahead of the leaders here, going to go a lap down. Crawford not having the engine that he needed here tonight to participate. Nick Crawford's going to have to take this number 48 machine back to the shop and reprogram it for Auto Club 2 weeks from now. Corey Tesner has led the most laps here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for Chase Johnson Racing. How does this number 8 elect to play it here? He sped on pit lane on his own, cost himself the race. Now he may have a chance, though, to battle it out, maybe make the difference for the win. 3 laps to go, and this is the gap between the two packs, excuse me. Trent Hughes leads his pack. There's the pack for the race lead. They've cut it down. They've given up time. They've given it back up to 4 seconds to the front half group. Nobody really able to get a good push and stay in order in this front half group. The CK Parking Lot 120 is coming down to 2 laps to go. 5 miles left to go in the kickoff race for season 4. Tankos leeches the lap traffic this time around. 5 miles left to go here at Talladega. Ty Robertson sizing up Kevin Tankos for a move here late at Talladega. Kevin Tankos has been around since season 1, 3 previous seasons underneath his belt. He has everything he's got to know possible to win the race here tonight. But Trent Hughes is on the march with the group behind him, trying to run down the front 3 drivers after the pit cycle. Less than 5 laps remain here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. For the Madness Racing League, O'Reilly Auto Parts presented to you by the CK Parking Lot Maintenance Company. White flag will be in the air this time around for Kevin Tankos, being pushed by Ty Robertson. White flag is in the air, presented by AFLGlobal.com. Everett Larson trying his best here. He'll have some drafting help behind him of Corey Tesner. Do the lap traffic cars make a difference here late? Here comes Trent Hughes trying to make the group get closer if something was to go wrong. Tankos goes high. We got one turn off the back straightaway. It's Terry Hughes Jr. He's able to get it off the racetrack. Here come the leaders, racing for the win here tonight at Talladega. Robertson to the right rear lift for quarter panel. Here comes Larson on the outside, 3 wide. What a move! Everett Larson clears himself for the race lead into 3 and 4. Checker flag is in the air off of turn 4. Everett Larson using lessons learned from 3 seasons to make a pass through turn 3 and 4. Larson will come across the line here at Talladega. He'll win the race here tonight to kick off season 4. What a move by Everett Larson, the 15-year-old from Bristol, Tennessee, gets it done at Talladega. Hell yeah, brother! In the words of Cletus McFarland, Everett Larson wins it here tonight. Everett Larson, a real-life race car driver, got a chance to go hang out with Travis Pastrana at Pastrana Land and ride dirt bikes and rip on the dirt, but tonight he's the king of Talladega. See Everett Larson pumped up inside of that race car as he brings it across the front straightaway here, getting ready to burn it down for you fans. Everett Larson wins the season opener race here tonight for the CK Parking Lot Maintenance O'Reilly Auto Parts Series for the Madness Racing League. What a race here tonight, folks. 118 of you at one point in time were live here for the race here tonight. Everett Larson looks like he's going to try his signature reverse donut. Can he get it? I just can't get the rotation that he's looking for on the reverse donut. Everett Larson wins it here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel at Talladega Super Speedway. We'll be back in just a moment with the post-race show. We'll have all your driver interviews here when we return. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We have just wrapped up the Madness Racing League MRL O'Reilly Auto Parts Series live here at Talladega. We'll see if we can't bring up the overlay one more time. There we go for you folks on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll kill the music here just a tad bit. See if we can't get our pit reporter to walk down there to the number 01 of Everett Larson. Do you have a copy? You got a copy?
Down here in Victory Lane at the Talladega Motor Speedway with the Season 4 opener winner for the CK Parking Lot Maintenance O'Reilly Auto Parts Series for the Madness Racing League. The 01 Stack and Pennies podcast Chevy of Everett Larson. Everett, kind of walk us through your move going into turn 3 there, racing side-by-side with Tankos and Roberts, and really prevailed there as you took to the high side of the racetrack and took the lead to win it.
Yeah, man, it was just a really crazy finish there. I saw we were kind of catching up to some lap cars, and just a plot just formalized in the back of my head. I'm like, maybe I can get these guys to work with me. Maybe I can just get away from my teammates and win. And thankfully, Corey Kestner, as soon as my teammates went too wide right there on the backstretch, just gave a little bump, and I was off and away. And I just pulled away and won. It was really good. Just really happy all my teammates were able to get up here in the top 3, or most of my teammates, I guess. I don't know. But big shout-out to Corey, and good race.
That's the driver of the 01 Stack and Pennies podcast, Chevy of Everett Larson. He'll win the opening race here for Season 4. Let's go down to the second-place finisher, driver of the Budweiser number 4, back in action, Kevin Tankos. Kind of walk us through your race here tonight. The Budweiser number 4 was bad, fast. Almost got in a couple incidents here tonight, made the move there to try to play defense on the white flag. Kind of walk us through it.
Yeah, all I can say is that I think the boys behind pit wall, everybody behind pit wall, got their drinking privileges back. We'll give them some more Budweiser because they did a pretty solid job. We got roughed up early on in the race, and they were able to get it fixed up super quick and get us back in the action. So glad to see the Rush Motorsports number 4 Budweiser Chevy Camaro back up here in the podium. I think just a bit of a miscommunication there on the backstretch that just lost us both the race. But we continue on to next week with some good points and hopefully walk away with the Cup this season.
That's Kevin Sanko's driver number 4 Budweiser Chevy Camaro here tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway. We'll scoot down to the third place finisher, driver number 9 TCSP Chevy of Ty Robertson. Kind of walk us through your race here tonight, Ty. Led some laps there early, making some moves through the field. Really just continued to pushing around for majority parts of tonight. Walk us through it.
Yeah, first off, gotta give a shout out to Three Game Racing guys bringing a fast race cars here tonight, getting one in victory lane at P3. I believe the other two, the 25 and 77, had some issues back there, so that's unfortunate. But all of us were pretty fast tonight. We were able to get the dual win. It put us in a good spot up front. Everything cycles around here, so you kind of go all over the racetrack, and you gotta just try to manage it the best you can and keep your fuel in a good spot. And we went down, all of us went down and topped off there at the end and tried to get us in a good spot under the green, which it came, and it did. And we were able to pull a pretty big gap there, and thankfully we were able to hold on to it. I honestly thought me and Kevin were going to get it, but the lap cars getting behind Everett there, it kind of gave him the advantage. He sent Corey a PM over there we didn't know about, so we couldn't really do much about it. Glad we could all get up here, and hopefully at Auto Club we can do the same there.
Ty Robertson brings home a runner-up day and a good point today as well in the third place spot. We're bringing the camera down here to the seventh place finisher, driver the number 7 of Camden Gillett. And Camden, your teammate of Carter Jackson, didn't stay around too long. I was going to ask you guys, but the pit strategy call you guys had to come down with only 4 cars with about 12 to 13 laps to go in the race. Looked like it may have been the call to win it. Kind of walk us through.
Yeah, so first of all, I just want to congratulate the top 3 for their podium. I also want to congratulate the 6th place finisher, Trent Hughes, for his, I believe, Hard Charger Award for coming up from 24th into 6th. It was a really good day for Rising Sun Racing. Unfortunately, I ended up racing in the duel. Carter did really well. And we came down with those 4, and it was going really well. We were up into the top 10. Came down with the 4, and unfortunately we just couldn't get the speed as a group, and we didn't have the time left. By the time we did get everything figured out and everything cycled to where we needed it, unfortunately just ran out of laps. But a really good day to have Dynamo Productions on the car. So feeling really good about this season in the 17.
That's the 7 of Camden Gillett, and he'll bring home the 7th place position. We'll scoot back here to the 6th place finisher, driver the number 18 Quick Lane Ford Mustang. Trent, this is definitely one of the better races you've had all season long in the previous seasons we've had. Walk us through what the front half of this 18 machine went through. You had some fast speed there. We thought you maybe had a chance to cycle up through the race lead and win this thing. Walk us through it.
After the problems we had in the dual races, we had to put a new engine in the car. And so we had to start from the very back of the field. And thanks to the help of my teammates and all the boys that's been working with us, we worked our way back up into the top 10 for a great finish. And just shout out to all the guys at Rush Motorsports and then AXI Racing. And I hate that the 81 didn't get to have a good day, but it was a really good race, and we had a fast car.
That's the number 18 Quick Lane Ford Mustang for 81XI Racing. He'll get a decent starting spot here to kick off the rest of the season for his team. We'll throw it back up to the booth. That'll be the race here tonight for the O'Reilly Auto Parts, presented to you by the CK Parking Lot Maintenance for the Madness Racing League. Back up to the booth.
And we appreciate that, you throwing it back up here to the booth for us. We'll bring the music back where we will kick off our post-race show. We'll try to make it brief and quickly for you. We just wrapped up at Talladega Super Speedway for, 60 laps, 3 sets of tires, and about 28 to 32 laps in Sunoco fuel that really came into effect there at the end. 2 dual races were ran here tonight before the feature. If you definitely missed it, that is on you. Check the YouTube page in the top right portion of your screen where all of the full races will be posted there. Heat race number 1 went a little bit like this. Colin Cole brings home the victory in heat race number 1 with Corey Tesner bringing home the second place spot. Third belonged to Everett Larson in the Last Row Motorsports Machine, followed by James Fountain, Andrew Parnell, Alan Hammerbeck, Mitchell Wilson in the number 46 Midwest E Motorsports brings home the 7th place spot. Brandon McAbee, Camden Gillen, and Kevin Tankos. The top 10 for dual race number 1, Dylan Jones, Tony Cook, Virgil Perriman, Michael Durham Jr., Trenton Johns, and Sean Williams is how they rounded out dual race number 1. Duel 2 went just like this with Ty Robertson and Rush Motorsports going to victory lane in the number 9 machine. Logan Perriman in the number 19 MTL Motorsports, Camaro, had a chance to win the race there late, trying to find a place, but nothing to move out of the way, couldn't get out of the way there. Heat race number 2 went to Ty Robertson, John Michael Bryant, 3rd place, Carter Jackson 4th, Bobby Kyle, Chase Johnson, Terry Hughes in the 7th place spot, Connor Notary, Klaus Brom, Nick Crawford, Jackson Byram, Trent Hughes, Michael Potter Jr., Poncho, Lorraine Man McDowell, and the Kid. The feature ended up like this tonight. Everett Larson, will win the race here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. If we can't bring up his name card from Bristol, Tennessee. Kevin Tankos will bring home the 2nd place spot here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, followed by the 3rd place position and Ty Robertson. We apologize there for that popping up on your screen that way, but Ty Robertson will win the 3rd and final podium spot here tonight, followed by Klaus Braun, Carter Jackson, Trent Hughes, Camden Gillen, and James Fountain, Logan Perriman, and Trenton Johns. Virgil Perriman will also finish the race here tonight in the 11th place spot. Great results run for him. Bobby Kyle, Poncho McDowell, Alan Hammerbeck, Michael Ponder Jr., Chase Johnson, Corey Tesner round out the 17th place position, followed by Terry Hughes Jr., John Michael Bryant, Sean Williams, Connor Notary, Nick Crawford, Colin Cole, Andrew Parnell, and Tony Cook, the top 25 drivers, followed by Dylan Jones, Brandon McAbee, Mitchell Wilson, Michael Durham Jr., and Jackson Byram. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it here for the drivers on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel for the CK Parking Lot 120 live here tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway. We'll bring up the remaining schedule one more time. Make sure you get a nice good picture of it on your screen. Headed to the Auto Club Speedway 2 weeks from now, and then we'll head on over to Kentucky, where a couple of those rednecks will have a home track, and then over to our annual road course at the Sonoma Motor Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you get you a good picture of that one right there. Put it back down here on the main broadcast, and we'll do one final weather report as you head on out to Talladega Super Speedway. 82 degrees here tonight as the checker flag is flown. We want to remind you that we are now responsible for your DUIs. Ladies and gentlemen, Everett Larson wins it here tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway. We'll see you Wednesday night for the championship race for the Gen 6 Cup Series live at Las Vegas.